January 2026. Wall Street is preparing for the largest initial public offering in human history. SpaceX, $1.5 trillion valuation. Not a tech company going public, not a car manufacturer, a utility. The first private entity to control the infrastructure layer of an entire planet. Starlink isn't broadband. It's the only option for 4 billion people outside fiber range. It's the backbone for airlines, shipping fleets, militaries, and governments that no longer trust terrestrial cables. Elon Musk doesn't sell rockets anymore. He sells access. And in 2026, access is sovereignty. But here's what most people miss. This IPO isn't about raising money. SpaceX is already profitable. Starlink alone generates $30 billion in annual revenue. This is about liquidity for the next war. Not a trade war, not a market war. The war to industrialize Mars before someone else does. The question isn't why is SpaceX going public? The question is, what is Musk building that requires $1.5 trillion in unlocked capital? Let's rewind, because this foundation wasn't poured on a spreadsheet. It was poured in a basement. In 2008, with 3 failed rockets and $40 million left. Hawthorne, California, summer 2008. Elon Musk is sleeping on the factory floor. SpaceX has launched 3 rockets. All 3 exploded. Tesla is burning $4 million a month and can't secure a loan. The Roadster production line is a disaster. Investors are walking. Musk has $40 million left. Personal funds, not company reserves. He has to choose: save Tesla or save SpaceX. He splits it, $20 million each. It's not enough for either. His co-founders at Tesla are pressuring him to step aside. The board thinks he's distracted. The press is calling him a fraud. And SpaceX? The engineers are exhausted. The 4th Falcon 1 rocket is sitting on a launch pad in the Marshall Islands, and nobody believes it will work. 3 failures. Same design. Same failure mode. Stage separation. Musk is not an aerospace engineer. He learned rocketry by reading textbooks. His competitors, Lockheed, Boeing, have been doing this for 60 years with billion-dollar contracts. He has none of that. But here's the thing about Musk that people misunderstand. He doesn't see failure as a signal to stop. He sees it as incomplete data. The 3rd rocket failure happened in August 2008. 6 weeks later, Falcon 1 Flight 4 is ready. The entire company is betting on this launch. If it fails, SpaceX is done. Musk is on the island, watching the launch remotely from Hawthorne via satellite feed. The rocket ignites. It clears the pad. Stage 1 separates cleanly. Stage 2 ignites. And for the first time in SpaceX history, it reaches orbit. Musk doesn't celebrate. He goes back to the factory floor and gets back to work. Because reaching orbit isn't the foundation. Reaching orbit repeatedly, reliably, and cheaper than anyone else, that's the foundation. Most people think SpaceX won because of innovation. Wrong. SpaceX won because of cost structure. A Delta IV Heavy launch costs $400 million. A Falcon Heavy launch costs $90 million. But that's still expensive. Musk's obsession wasn't building rockets. It was reusing them. Every other aerospace company treated rockets like ammunition. Single-use, disposable. Musk treated them like airplanes. In 2015, SpaceX landed a Falcon 9 first stage for the first time. Vertically, on a drone ship, in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
The industry called it a stunt.
Musk called it infrastructure. By 2020, SpaceX was landing boosters routinely. Some had flown 15 times. The cost per launch dropped to $30 million. And suddenly, SpaceX wasn't just cheaper than Boeing. It was cheaper than every government space program on Earth. NASA started buying seats on SpaceX instead of building their own vehicles. The US military started awarding contracts exclusively to SpaceX. But Musk wasn't building a rocket company. He was building a logistics monopoly. And the product wasn't rockets. It was orbital access. In 2019, Musk started launching Starlink satellites. The pitch was simple: global broadband from space. The reality was far more sophisticated. Starlink isn't a telecom play. It's a data utility. By 2026, there are over 15,000 Starlink satellites in low Earth orbit. They provide internet to rural America, sub-Saharan Africa, the Arctic, and war zones where fiber doesn't exist. But here's the hidden layer. Starlink satellites aren't just transmitting data, they're processing it. Each satellite is a node in a distributed computing network, a mesh that spans the entire planet. And because they're in orbit, they have 3 advantages terrestrial data centers don't. Number 1, 24-hour solar power, no electric bills. Number 2, natural cooling. The vacuum of space is the best heat sink in the universe. Number 3, jurisdictional immunity. No government can regulate, audit, or seize an orbital data center without committing an act of war. Musk isn't just launching AI into space. He's building the world's first sovereign AI. While OpenAI negotiates with regulators and Google fights antitrust lawsuits, Musk's models are training in orbit, unthrottled, untaxed, and untouchable. Starlink is the foundation. Orbital AI is the weapon. And the 2026 IPO is the capitalization event that funds the next phase. So what is the $1.5 trillion for? 2 things. First, Starship. The fully reusable, super heavy lift vehicle designed to carry 100 tons to Mars. Starship isn't a prototype anymore. It's operational. SpaceX is launching them weekly. But Mars colonization isn't a 5-year plan. It's a 20-year plan. And it requires infrastructure no government will fund. Life support systems, ISRU plants to produce fuel on Mars, autonomous habitats. Cost estimate, $500 billion over 2 decades. The IPO unlocks that capital. Second, the AI war. Musk controls xAI, a competitor to OpenAI and Google DeepMind. But xAI has something the others don't: orbital compute. By 2028, Musk plans to have AI training clusters in space powered entirely by Starlink's satellite mesh. No energy costs, no data center leases, no regulatory overhead. It's the cheapest, fastest, and most sovereign AI infrastructure ever built. And when AGI arrives, and Musk believes it will by 2029, the entity that controls the compute controls the future. The $1.5 trillion isn't just for Mars. It's for post-scarcity dominance. Here's what most people get wrong about Elon Musk. They think he's reckless. He's not. He's methodical. Every risk he takes is calculated on a foundation of previous wins. He didn't start with SpaceX. He started with Zip2 and X.com. He learned how to build companies and sell them. He didn't go straight to Mars. He built reusable rockets first, then a satellite network, then orbital compute. Every layer builds on the last. That's not luck. That's architecture. The 2026 IPO isn't the end of the story. It's the foundation for the next one. Because Musk doesn't build companies. He builds systems that outlast him. Tesla isn't a car company, it's an energy company with wheels. SpaceX isn't a rocket company, it's a logistics monopoly with orbital sovereignty. And the blueprint is always the same. vertical integration, cost leadership, jurisdictional escape. In January 2026, Wall Street will price SpaceX at $1.5 trillion, but the foundation was poured in 2008, on a factory floor, with $40 million and 3 failed rockets. Success doesn't care about your circumstances, it cares about your foundation. And Musk's foundation is unshakable.